we're going to rewrite sine squared of y over 1 minus cosine of y so that it's no longer in fraction form. Okay? And as we did in example 1, we're going to multiply by the conjugates. But let me just do the pre-work just to show you y again. So if we took sine squared of y plus cosine squared of y equals 1, okay? If I'm solving for sine squared of y, meaning if I move my cosine squared of y over, I get sine squared of y equals 1 minus cosine squared of y. If I factor this, that just simply becomes 1 plus cosine and 1 minus cosine. Okay, so the reason why I want to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, which is 1 plus cosine of y, because when I do that, the denominator becomes a monomial. That's really what the goal for this kind of problem is to make the denominator a monomial, because you could divide monomials into a denominator, which is going to make it much easier than to make it non-fraction. Okay, so let's do that then. Sine squared of y, I'm just going to rewrite the problem here. Now let's go ahead and multiply by its conjugates. Okay, and its conjugate is going to be 1 plus cosine of y. So 1 plus cosine of y. And the numerator is going to become sine squared of y. Sine squared of y times 1 is sine squared of y. Sine squared of y times cosine of y is just going to be a product together. So sine squared of y times cosine of y. And this all has a common denominator of, if you multiply the two together, we know that that's going to be equal to sine squared of y. Sine squared of y. Okay? All right. Well, hopefully you see here that each monomial here has a common factor of sine squared of y. So that means I can write this as sine squared of y all over sine squared of y. So it's basically I just wrote this guy over sine squared of y plus sine squared of y times cosine of y all over sine squared of y. And what do you know? Good, so sine y squared times over sine y squared is 1 plus, those are gone, so all we have is just cosine of y. And looks like we can't simplify that anymore. Plus also, we were supposed to write this so that it's no longer in fraction form, which we just did.